Thank you for your testimony. We'll now move into questions, to the question and answer portion of the hearing, and I will begin the questioning and recognize myself for 5 minutes. Substantial proportion of the American population, what does that mean? How much? Are we talking 20%? Are we talking 50%? Are we talking 70? Tell us.
Chairman, we continue to investigate the amount of data involved here. We do think it's going to be substantial. Because we haven't completed the process, I'm hesitant to be overly precise on that and be wrong in the future. I wouldn't like to mislead anybody in that regard.
Well, and I wouldn't want you to mislead us either, but when you say substantially, at least give me some kind of a range. You can be on the bottom to high. I don't mind giving you a range. Are we talking 20 to 50 or?
I think maybe a third or somewhere of that level.
Okay, all right. And I appreciate you letting us know that that's a suspect number, because the worst thing you can do is come in here and tell us something that sounds like it's a fact you're giving us and then have it be different. So I do appreciate that. Your company is contractually obligated to pay for your beneficiary services and medicines, and you're still collecting premium dollars and collecting interest on that money. And you heard me say in my opening, I'm concerned about the float issues. Particularly, while I am concerned about providers, I'm particularly concerned about that report of the lady who had to spend $1,100 out of pocket. And so you understand, in my district, that, and I don't know anything about this lady's circumstances because that's private information, but the average take-home pay in my district is $50,037. So $1,100 is a big amount of money, and even people who make more than that don't generally keep $1,100 laying around. So what are you all going to do to try to make those people whole?
Chairman, thank you very much for the question. On the first part of your question concerning the ongoing payment versus premiums that we collect, I want to assure you we've lifted all claim holds, and we for weeks have been paying claims as soon as they arrive at the company. So we are passing through payments in a very accelerated format. We know not everybody in the marketplace is doing that, but we certainly are. As far as the situation of the lady you described, first of all, let me say how sorry I am to hear of a situation like that. And I'm aware that there are clearly people who've had those situations, and
probably thousands of them that we don't know about.
I'm very sorry about that. Now, in these particular situations, two things I'd like to reassure you of. First of all, those systems are now back online. So in terms of those coupons and those card systems, they are back online. We have and will continue to honor in any prescription fulfillment where somebody was out of pocket in good faith. So we will absolutely honor that out-of-pocket cost if for some reason the lack of service provision led to the out-of-pocket cost. And if there's anything further we can do for that individual, if your offices would like to connect us up, we'd be happy to help further.
And they would have to contact us for us to be able to do that and fill out the proper privacy forms, because we don't want to be guilty of giving away secrets either. But are they going to have to fill out a lot of forms? Because a lot of folks, you know, particularly if it's not $1,100, but it's $110, if you give them a lot of paperwork to do, they're just going to say, forget it, or choicer words.
No, and again, thank you for the follow-up question. No, we're trying to make this as administratively easy as possible, and certainly as far as pharmacists are concerned, where oftentimes this situation lands with the pharmacist having made that decision to fulfill the prescription without certainty that it would be reimbursed, we are honoring those in good faith without any further
and I look forward to working with you on that, because we want to solve this for all Americans, and so I look forward to working with you and your company on that. I have another question that I want to get to, and it's one of those things, it may be an unintended consequence, but I think it is a consequence. Medical practices. What we're hearing is that a lot of practices that, particularly in rural or urban areas, in underserved areas anyway, that your company is willing to buy the practice, which I think is good on its face. But as you heard Chairwoman Rogers say, 1 in 12 physicians or doctors currently works for one of your subsidiaries already, and this is actually giving you all a leg up on buying other practices. How many other clinics do you think that were hurt by this cyber tech that have you acquired, and how many are you looking at acquiring?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the question. Maybe I could just make a couple of comments here. First of all, we actually employ around just under 10,000 physicians in our Optum practices across the country. I know oftentimes people talk about a much larger number. That includes those who choose to contract and affiliate with us. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. Secondly, since this attack has taken place, we have indeed concluded the acquisition of one practice in Oregon. I want to reassure you in that situation, that was a transaction which was negotiated before this
Prior
event,
to that, I am
and we
aware of
honored-
that.
And we
My
honored
time's running out. Any other practices that you all are about to acquire?
no, not at all.
That's what I needed to know. My time is up. I yield back and now recognize Ms. Castor, ranking member of the subcommittee, for her 5 minutes of questioning.